Greetings everyone, welcome to this new video. We're gonna take a look at my current character. I had to do a switch because I wanted to be able to do the Supreme Showdown 20 right here. When you kill the boss, you get a pack spirit. You get a chest and you can choose one of the loot spears, the legendary ones. So I want that. I don't spend any more money than the battle pass each season, so that's all. So any spirit I can get is good. Same way with city defense and stuff like that. It's also a pack spirit, but that one is battle, I think. So that one I want also. But this is probably the cheapest way, and I've done this character before, but I did another version of it last season, and Guba did a showcase on my gear last season when I gave away all the to him, and yeah, it's really strong, and it's probably the cheapest way to actually get the Supreme Showdown right now down to a kill for it. Or at least I have not seen any other build that's this inexpensive to do it. But it's not an inexpensive build. It is still pricey to get it there. I have my clear gear on. No, I'm just gonna put it on. I've done mostly boss killing for my currency, so bear with me here. I do not do a lot of mapping. As you can see, we're deep space. I'm gonna do this one, and I'm just gonna do whatever here. Okay, it's very easy. Just go in, activate your movement ability to shoot more projectiles. Whoa, there's a lot of shit here. Sorry for the swearing. And we're gonna pick up these, and yeah, I tried to start building a little bit more defenses for my build. I am not full on the priceless gear yet or anything like that, so I have a lot of more upgrades to be making for this build, so I can probably double my TPS and still double my survivability if I want to. So but that is probably not going to be needed for my end game here. So as you can see, it's fairly fast. It's not going to be the fastest build in the game, but yeah, this is plenty. And I got 3 bosses, that's lucky. Let's see if I get some loot also with this. Sadly no, but that's good enough. So that's just a short showcase of the hardest content in the game. I used a lot of compasses to boost it also. So but normally I would be playing like this, and this is how I would be setting it up, and this is going to be in the link below, this gear I have on right now. I have priceless gear right now with my helmet and 2 wands here. Things to point out, these items are kind of mandatory. They are not very expensive, even like, well, obviously with these corruptions, I corrupted it myself. Otherwise it's, this probably is the most expensive, and it's 50 FE. The other ones are like very little in currency, like 5 FE or 1 FE or something like that. Obviously, if you want a corroded version with a good corrode on it, then you have to pay a little bit more, or try it out yourself. I corroded my own items. I find that much cheaper than just going with whatever is on the market. Other things to point out is the dream craft I have on my rings and amulet. I bought them like this and then started crafting them up. I use corrosion here and entangled pain. Those curses are gonna go on the enemy, and because we have 2 curses on the enemy limit because of our talents, then we don't need it on our skills down here. So we don't need it on the skills. That frees us up to do other buffs. What we're looking for is just energy shield, intellect, damage. I have some special mods here that you might not want to go for, but that's for defense, like barrier, and numb here is also an effect that you might not want to go for, because we have a specific slate that boosts numb. It's this one, conductivity, and chance wake numb, and that one is really strong with that one. Otherwise, don't go for that mod. For our wands, these are pretty much perfect mods here, you can go for intellect or cold. See here, they're interchangeable here. If you upgrade them to the red mods there, then cold is a little bit stronger than int, so you might wanna, if you get cold, it's better, a little bit better, but int is better early on. That's my gear. Just import the link to take a look at it. For my talents, I'm not gonna even bother taking a look at all of these. You can check them out yourself. There's nothing special here. The damage, survivability, and then yeah, just go with what makes sense there. It's very self-explanatory. Same with talents here. Something I want to talk about. Yeah, this is why we scale blur effect, by the way. So not only are we getting more evasion and survivability through our blur, we are also gaining additional dot damage. So if we have, for example, 100% additional blur effect, then that would be 50 additional dot here. So very good. We have plus the skills, support, and mana. This one is really good because it lets us put more supports in our auras, and it actually goes down in reservation. So it does the opposite of what it does normally. So when you put in supports in auras, they go up in value of CL mana, but now it goes down instead. So we can bring down, and we can get more auras in that way. Here also blur gains additional effect. Again, we're scaling that. You can go for affliction also, but of course I like this one because I scale blur effect. Here, cast another curse, really important. For our slates, conductivity is something I bought yesterday. I was going for other slates. Let's take a look. I have one up for sale. They're really inexpensive right now. I bought them for so much more. Dazed and stab in the back. Why did I go for these? Because here we have Dazed, then I can take affliction. So if you have any of these, then you just can take the other one. And stab in the back, same thing there. Where is that one? It's on the warlock tree, isn't it? Yeah, so then you get this one. While blur loses an additional damage for if we lose a blur, which we are. So otherwise, for our slates, we just want to scale levels, wilt damage of course, but I'm mostly scaling jumps. And see here, cold skill level, reaping cooldown, and jump. You want one mod at least with where was it? Here, blur effect, because obviously more blur effect the better. We are scaling it. So, and I also using one of these. That means I can double from all these mods. There are the last mod on these slates around, they're adjacent, getting doubled. So very strong to have one slot that gives all of these bonuses. So it's doubling up. For our hero trait here, I just went with whatever here. Intellect, max energy shield, and movement speed is probably king on these. Otherwise you want crit damage, because on your chest it gets converted through vial here. Additional element damage per free crit damage, so really good there. So we can utilize critical strike damage, but otherwise it does not do anything if you don't wear that chest. Projectile speed probably is not what I need to go for, unless you get a slate with Gale on it. Gale gives the same thing as the crit damage, but for projectile speed, so it's very good there. Friction effect, crit damage, let's take a look. Critical damage, and yeah. I went with red slates, or whatever they call ultimate slates, because if you level them fully up, you get level 3 here, which is going to be important later. You can also get with +2 to hero traits, but those one are astronomical prices. You want these things, and the reason why we want a movement skill and why I'm spamming the movement skill is because, let's see where it is, reload when using a mobility skill. So very good there, because reload is key here, because otherwise we're gonna be out of ammo and we're gonna need to wait for the cooldown to actually proc our things there. So every time we are shooting and we're using a movement skill, our ammo here is getting a reset. For our skills, these are the ideal one. Obviously you want as low rhythm as possible. It don't really matter for this mod, so you can take the lowest because we're not going to move fast enough to activate it each 0.2 seconds. Yeah, these are very good. You can take a look yourself what they do, and jumps is really good because each time it jumps, it's kind of like chain in Path of Exile. If there's remaining chains, it does more damage. I heard that you want an even amount of jumps. I've not really seen any difference, but I have an even amount now, so we'll see. These people always get confused because this one doesn't do anything except that it gives you the cooldown recovery speed for your skill here. So this activation medium is only there for the cooldown recovery speed. We're actually not going to activate it through the activation medium. We are going to activate it manually. Quick mobility and cooldown, because the faster we can throw out those free transmissions or blink. We can also go with blink. The faster we can reload, and this is key to the build. We want to reload and use our mobility skill as much as possible. This is going to be your bottleneck early on where it comes to damage. If you don't push your movement skill, you're not going to do much damage. I mean, I'm doing like 1/10 of the damage maybe, or 1/5 of the damage if I just stand still and just let the normal reload go. Defensive buffer is really strong because we are generating tenacity blessings on our candle, and we obviously want physical and elemental damage taken less. It's a lot. This one is really nice. Thunder Spike is something I implemented yesterday. If you don't want to set this up, it's fine, because you also need a rhythm for that one. A 0.5, a 0.6 should be enough for this one. 0.5 is definitely enough. What it does is create num stacks on our enemy, and num stacks, and through our if you go back to your slates for our conductivity, is that with plus 10 additional damage. So that is 10 num stacks is 100 additional damage. That is huge for our build. And we're also getting hardened, which means minus 25 additional damage taken, which is also great. And then we are just trying to get as many stacks here for these supports. Black Hole is probably the strongest one here. Same thing here, additional cooldown we want here, same thing here. Because we're moving, you can see them going off. You don't need enough mana to activate them because they're activating by themselves. The only thing you're gonna need enough mana for is your free transmission or your movement skill. Sorry, and we go in here again. For our auras, we are going with Deep Pain, Precise Projectile, obviously precise, Erosion, precise, and we're going with Energy Fortress. When you have enough of sealed mana. This is something I tinkered with, and I know everyone else is going with sealed mana here. If you can take a look here, you can get sealed mana compensation on your helmet, but I noticed that you can also get as a base affix on priceless gear, and then I have one on the candle also. So I have in total 7 plus 8, so a 15 seal conversion there. It's enough to activate my skill, so I didn't need that one, so I saved an affix and put on another one. Otherwise you would go with Summon Erosion Magus, and I can just put it on here because you want this one, and you want this support here, extra erosion damage provided to your build, and the thing itself takes care of additional dust damage taken. So really good there to early when you are not having the seal conversion. Where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, activate. For our candles, this one I crafted myself. It's much better to craft them yourself. There's a guide out there. I might do one myself, but aura effect, sealed mana. I needed a sealed mana, and I'm starving on resistance, so very good. Don't worry too much about this exact candle. You can also go with jump here. which is really strong, which is what I did before yesterday. I like to be a little bit more tanky, so I put weaken here, and this one is key here. Chance to gain 1 stack of blessing when triggering a skill. We are triggering a skill constantly, so even if we lose all our tenacity stacking through our defensive buffer here, we are still gaining them back in an instant. And this gives us all kinds of stacks, so really good there. I think we have covered everything, and for my pact spirits, I just used my free pact spirits this league, and I summoned on it. So I got 1 from summon, 1 from the box, and the other one I had from a previous league. So basically you can almost guarantee 2 of these. It's not that much damage difference. I'm well over 5 trillion now with my defensive setup, so I don't know, it caps out, the dummy caps out at 5 trillion. So we'll take a look when I'm done with the build how much it is in total. Otherwise, hopefully this makes sense. There's a lot of moving pieces here, and yeah, it's putting my brain into overload here to just make everything work. But hopefully you can make sense, or you can use my build links as a general guide to build it up yourself. You can get super much damage and clear probably up to deep space without any priceless gear right now. So I know you can do deep space without priceless gear. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Write a comment below if you need to, and have a good day everyone.